Hi, I know you're probably like me and you're saying that there's something that's going on in our country all the time. Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about the massive amount of fraud in Minnesota and then other states. Fraud that was run straight through our governmental entities. That's what we were all concentrating on. And then all of a sudden, the Epstein files came out, and that's something that we can never overlook. We had to give all of our attention to that because these P class of people were not only abusing little children, but they were also consuming children. And believe me, we are about to go to war with Iran, and no one could explain to anyone, any of us, a legitimate reason why we're going to war. But it would be a good distraction from the fact that we found out that the P class of people are doing heinous things to our children. Anyway, remember, this is all a diversion, but I want you to listen to this because you need to know what to expect.
If the United States goes to war with Iran in the next week or two, it could be devastating for the United States of America, militarily, economically, politically, and it could become the defining moment of President Trump's entire presidency. Because this isn't Afghanistan. This isn't people fighting on camels, a 20-year war that we lost in a devastating fashion, by the way. This isn't fighting Houthi rebels in Yemen. By the way, we couldn't even beat them. We struck them over 1,000 times, and it didn't stop them. So we just gave up, and we turned tail, and we stopped bombing them. We lost. The Houthis beat us. Let that sink in. Iran is a modern military power with hypersonic missiles, a huge missile force, hardened infrastructure, proxies across the entire region, backing from Russia and China when it matters. The second this kicks off, United States troops and bases become the bullseye. And look at the posture right now. Even mainstream outlets are describing one of the largest U.S. buildups in the region since 2003, the invasion of Iraq. Iran's answer has been consistent. Hit us, and we retaliate against U.S. forces across the region with a devastating attack.
Iranian leaders have said any attack by the United States, limited or not, would cause them to unleash their vast missile arsenal at U.S. bases vulnerable to attack in Qatar, UAE, and Bahrain, home to the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet. The amount of military hardware the Pentagon is positioning in the region signals it is not a question of if, but when.
I think Iran will shut down the Strait of Hormuz, shut down oil production, kill a lot of Americans, destroy Israel. And hopefully somebody very smart is whispering this reality in Trump's ear, up to including the fact that we could lose an aircraft carrier if we're not careful.
That's Scott Ritter, former U.S. Marine, former UN weapons inspector who discovered that Saddam Hussein didn't have weapons of mass destruction, told Congress, even though Netanyahu told us that it did, and that's why Congress felt the need to go to war in Iraq. He told us the truth when everyone else was lying. Millions of Iraqis died. Thousands of Americans came home in body bags as a result if they'd only listened to him. And furthermore, listen to the people who have actually worn the uniform, like Scott Ritter, and led troops into battle like Colonel Daniel Davis. He says we're going to attack. You don't build up this much firepower for nothing, but he says the quiet part out loud, we will lose.
I don't see any other attainable military objective short of attempting a regime change with all of this combat power. But I don't see that being a militarily attainable mission at all. So I don't see any attainable military operation other than we could blow up a lot of stuff. We could shoot a bunch of missiles. We can kill a bunch of people. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to even have the threat to go in with several 100,000 boots on the ground to conquer a country, all you can do is blow up a bunch of stuff. And then you have a situation like the Houthis where all they have to do is not lose and stay viable. And then they can be a thorn in your side forever.
Davis's point is Iran is not a soft target. This would be a massive fight against missiles, drones, air defense systems, and serious command structure, not a quick victory lap for our out-of-date military. Just think about this. Our military aircraft relies on freaking precious metals that we get from China, and we don't have it right now. We don't have any at home. Scott Ritter made a great point a few weeks ago. Someone told Trump, you better not do this right around the new year because we are not militarily able to do it.
And he was warned by smarter people in the national security system that if he started a conflict with Iran, it wasn't going to go the way he thought it would, that the United States would be embarrassed, humiliated, and would take months, if not years, to build up the military force to prevail. And so Trump backed off, claiming that he was sparing Iranian lives because he's such a great humanitarian.
So what changed from a few weeks ago? Well, the answer is nothing changed. Our military is the same it was a few weeks ago, only more tired and more stretched thin. And we're going to bomb Iran now? And now put this into the political frame that matters. Americans voted for Trump on three main things: the border, the economy, no more Middle Eastern wars. And here's the part that makes me furious. Trump is being fed canards, total lies. It'll be easy. It'll be quick. Iran will fold. And who's pressuring him the hardest? Well, Netanyahu comes to town again last week, begs him again a seventh time at the White House. It's the same neocon voices who always want the next war, never pay the price when it blows up. Ben Shapiro's of the world, the Mark Levins of the world, Lindsey Graham's of the world. They'll cheer from a studio while American families carry the cost that they don't care about.